You are looking at the PFF National Training Center here in Carmona, Cavite, the site of our match at hand, set to kick off in just a short while. Maharlika FC going up against Cebu FC. Magandang hapon po sa kanilang lahat. It is Levi Verora on the call, and we will be bringing along Mr. Jamer de la Cruz in just a short while. It's round number 4 between Maharlika FC and Cebu FC. The last time these two squads met was not that long ago, 10 days ago, when Cebu had to come from behind to defeat Maharlika 2-1. Will it be a sweep, 4 out of 4, or will Maharlika finally solve that riddle, solve that puzzle? We'll see in just a short while as we take a look at the league table. And again, Jamer, take us through this. Kaya, of course, the league leaders with 42 points, but not far behind is Cebu there in second place.
Well, if you look into the standings right now, Levi, you could see Dynamic Herb Cebu FC just breathing down the necks of the league leaders, Kaya FC Iloilo. They have a game at hand, which is this game, actually. If they win this game, they're just going to be 2 points behind the league leaders. And although it's still 2 points, more important thing that they have to look into as well is the goal difference. It's a huge, huge advantage for Kaya FC Iloilo. But should they finish off all of their matches with maximum points, Dynamic Herb Cebu FC is actually one of the favorites to win the current league here in the Philippines Football League.
And of course, Maharlika Manila FC right there at the bottom of your screens. 4 points. They've won their first ever match just earlier this month. And then could have been easily 2 in a row. Although Cebu again just showing that fight back to take the win. Speaking of Maharlika, let's take a look at their starting 11 for this match. Familiar names here, Jamer, and of course Vinci Valdez taking the spot of Javi Cosculluela, who has some injury do sa kanyang daliri. But everywhere else, these are the familiar names that has, perhaps yung chemistry na nandun na just to challenge any team sa ating liga.
Tama ka dyan, Levi. With the likes of Zachary Ford making huge presence in the Maharlika lineup, as well as itong sila William Valtos and Ziggy Aye, one of the youngsters of Maharlika Manila FC. They're gonna be putting up a fight against the second place team in the PFL.
And this is a good look at Vinci Valdez moments earlier dun sa kanilang official warm-up. He will be the designated shot stopper para kay Coach Roxy Dorlas in the place of Javi Cosculluela. And let's shift our focus doon naman sa kabilang koponan, Cebu FC. They will be starting with June Bedelik and also their familiar 4-3-3. These are the names to look out for the Queen City of the South.
Well, June Badelik is one of the known figures in the goalposts here in the Philippines and showing that he is still one of the key players to look at with Dynamic Herb Cebu, starting on goal last time around against Mendiola FC 1991. The other person that we're going to have to look into is JB Borlongan back in the starting lineups. He was actually a substitute last game against Mendiola but made immediate impact as the game went on, and now he's going to be starting alongside Mert Altinos. So surely firepower ang hanap dito ng Dynamic Herb Cebu against Maharlika.
Well, surely that left side for Cebu is going to be an interesting sub-story when we kick off in just a short while. And so, to our fans, just stay tuned. We will kick off at exactly 4 p.m. sa ating YouTube and Facebook platforms. Once again, Maharlika Manila FC and Dynamic Herb Cebu FC coming your way, the official march in and pre-match pleasantries when we return. Ideal weather conditions here inside the PFF National Training Center as we commence with our official march in and player introductions. Of course, this is your Philippines Football League brought to you by Qatar Airways. Levi Verora on the call once again alongside Jamer De La Cruz. And Jamer, moments away from the start of this match, Maharlika hosting Cebu. This is the final matchup between these two sides. And of course, Cebu with their traditional, after the unfortunate event happened, of course, that one with Hatay banner.
Yes, Cebu just showing solidarity with the people of Hatay in Turkey, of all the troubles that they've experienced out there, and with Maharlika Manila FC sporting their white kits with the trim of pink and blue. This is going to be an exciting game between the two sides, as we know for a fact that Cebu will try to black out Maharlika Manila FC, and on the other hand, Maharlika will try to go for an upset win here in this game.
And of course, speaking of Turkey, also during that Turkey versus Croatia match in the UEFA Euro qualifiers at the Timsa Arena, back at home, they also had that very heartwarming gesture. There was a large banner just showing solidarity again sa lahat ng naging apektado ng lindol, not just in Turkey but everywhere around the world. They were saying, you know, na sabay-sabay tayong babangon, everyone side by side, shoulder to shoulder. It shows you just how one big family we are. And speaking of which, back here inside the PFF National Training Center, nakikita nyo po in just a short while sa inyong mga screens ay bumibilog po yung mga player ng Maharlika at ng Cebu. This is a minute of silence to commemorate and to, of course, also send out our condolences, our thoughts and prayers to the family of Andrew Sarakinis, of Colegio San Juan Agustin, and also of G8 Academy. We all pray here on behalf of the entire football community in the Philippines for his eternal repose. May he rest in peace.
Please stand for a minute of silence in celebrating the life of football player Andrew Leo Sarakinis Jr., who passed away last March 26, 2023.
In just a short while, we'll bring you the kickoff between Maharlika and Cebu. This is round number 4. It hasn't been that long since the last matchup between the two. Of course, Cebu coming from behind, goals from Ivan Wano and Daniel Gadia in that 2-1 victory against Maharlika when they played their first match doon sa McKinley Hill Stadium in the city of Taguig. And Jamer, of course, we're just moments away from kickoff. How do you want to start this match if you're Maharlika, if you're Cebu, as we are off?
They have to match the intensity of Cebu on their last game against Mendiola. Pinakita ng Cebu na sobrang intense ng first 15 to 20 minutes ng game nila, and hopefully masabayan ito ng Maharlika. Currently, Cebu, I think they're going to be playing 4-3-3 with Allen up front, rotating Jan si Mert Altinos as one of their wingers. So let's see how Maharlika will counter out itong gagawin ng Cebu.
Cebu with the first possession here, playing from left to right. Again, in their fighting red kits. Maharlika in contrast, doon sa kanilang familiar white with the neon blue and pink trims. They're going to play 4-4-2 as far as Coach Roxy Dorlas is concerned. Referee for this match is Meliton Pelayo, assisted by Relly Balila and Paul Galicia on either side of the field. And then Michael Barajas is the fourth official. Your match commissioner is Mark Ian Baldo. And the first touch for Vinci Valdez is going to be a big responsibility for him, although Javi Coscolwela is part of the substitutes. Well, he is quite injured, that's what we've gathered here. But we know the capability of Valdez.
Nakita nga natin doon na pressure agad si Valdez. So hopefully ma-deflect niya karamihan ng attempts ng Cebu dito. On their last game, Cebu gave Michael Asong his hands full doon sa laro na yon despite winning only 1-0.
Basa as there is some early pressure from Cebu. And they win the ball back just like that. A pass back to Badelik from Cordova. Also good decision from Maharlika. Immediately trying to press doon sa likuran. Interesting start for this match.
Ito na yung sinasabi natin na magtatapatan ng intensity itong dalawang sides na to, Levi. Makikita natin Cebu just making the ball work for them, playing it from left to right, while Maharlika just keeping tabs on them.
Charles Dabao back to Cordova. Playing the center back position, although lumalabas bahagya, as of course that's credit to pressure from Maharlika. Jamer, if you're Maharlika, you play in a slightly bigger field than your home field, McKinley Hill Stadium. That will be beneficial perhaps dun sa mga gusto nyong gawin just to open things up as we see that long ball. How much of a difference will that be for this match?
It will be a huge difference knowing how comfortable they are in a small field like in McKinley Hill Stadium. Pero with a flat 4-4-2, I think they could operate a bit more in the middle, widen things up if needed, and hopefully their strikers will be ready for any long balls that's going to come their way.
First 3 minutes of this match already in the books. Borlongan gets his touch again back in the starting lineup here for Cebu. The last time Cebu played also in the same venue, it was a 1-0 victory over Mendiola FC 1991. Rintaro Hama again the goal scorer to give them the 3 points. And papalapit ng papalapit yung Cebu dun sa ating league first place team, which is Kaya FC Iloilo, Valtos. So Maharlika keeping the ball to their attacking side early on. Always an encouraging sign if you're the underdog. Biaton, part of the starting lineup, unable to turn. Bola babalik sa Cebu as they try to counter, pero 5 white shirts immediately in their path. Borlongan from the left flank inside, tries to make that connection in the header. Oh, it's an opening goal for Cebu, just like that 4 minutes in.
Once again, that's Rintaro Hama scoring the goal for Dynamic Herb Cebu, showing that tenacity on the attack.
Well, you can argue it's not the fastest of crosses from Borlongan, pero spot on, a very accurate pass, and apparently a connection for Rintaro Hama as it bounces off, and the header perfectly executed as well. Doon sa far post pumunta. We'll see it in this replay. Take us through this, Jamer.
Well, Borlongan on the left side, crossing it in, bounces inside the box. It's a little bit of a mishap from Maharlika Manila defense, and that mistake was just capitalized by Rintaro Hama, who already scored in his second straight game.
As I was calling that play in real time, I said 5 players bumalik agad for Maharlika defensively. Yun nga lang, they were unable to mark a man. Although a counter here perhaps as Biaton, and it's going to be the first corner for this match. It's a good effort from Biaton, and ang ganda rin ng decision making ni Hama doon, knowing that on rushing si Valdez, ibinalik doon sa far post.
Doesn't need to think twice dun sa play na yon, Rintaro Hama. He sees the opportunity. He knows Valdez will pressure him. He just nodded the ball in. No need for a second touch or no need to put it into the middle for another pass.
Charlie Biaton, as it is now 1-0 for Cebu. The delivery is gathered right away by June Badelik. A through ball here for Leaf is bothered by the defense. Borlongan will track it down. A second ball for Cebu as they keep the possession alive. Now they will be patient with this one. Kore. And a foul is whistled by Pelayo for set piece for Cebu, albeit from distance.
Dangerous spot here for Maharlika as they concede a free kick. Cebu have a couple of free kick specialists for them. They have Gadya, they have Borlong, and who could actually take a shot. But it looks like they will just play this one in and look for the heads of either Allen or Hama inside the box.
And asahan mo na, every time there is a set piece, JB Borlongan is more likely to be a part of it, but looks like it is Mert Altinos who will take this. Again, lots of tall players for Cebu. You mentioned Leaf Allen, there's Kore now, who will try to jostle inside the box. Here is the delivery, the connection, and it is saved barely by Valdez.
Great free kick there from Altinos, finding the head of Allen, but the power was not there for the attempt. So they will have the chance once again, but they will have to usher it this ball again for their side.
Altinos. And kalma, sabi nung kanyang kakampi. But this is Mert once again. Shoulder to shoulder against the defense. Ziggy E finally. Oh, that was Valtos. And whistle blown. Maharlika will take possession back. You can see the intensity right away, Jamer, as the confidence, obviously, for Cebu. After that opening goal, talagang dumoble. They're trying to pounce on the opportunities this early.
Well, they want to win big dito sa mga remaining matches nila dito sa PFL, knowing that they're chasing the goal difference with Kaya, and Coach Mehmet Kakal wasn't even happy in the previous games na mababa lang yung scoring nila.
Again, a 2-1 win over Maharlika the last time they played 10 days ago, and then only a 1-0 victory against Mendiola FC 1991. If you're Cebu, the second-ranked team in the league table, you have to, of course, show the landscape that you are number 2 and also possibly running for number 1. Hama, this time on the right side. A lot of space for Gadya there. Trying to thread the needle. It's a busy area in the middle. Altinos. Play on, says the referee. This ball will just sail out. If you're Maharlika, how do you recover from that early concession of a goal?
Well, they have to compose themselves. Huwag silang magpanic. It's still a long way to go. We're just 9 minutes into this game. We know that the attack of Cebu will be there to pressure them, but they have to take their time. They have to let the ball work for them. They have to make sure that they find the open spaces and not be rattled by the attacks coming from Cebu.
Oh, great effort coming from David Basa. But could this be an opening? Ben Diara is able to recover to send that away and delay the Cebu attack for now. It's going to be a throw in. And Charles Dabao will be the one to do the honors. Kore gets control to Gadya. And even yung kanilang back four umangat ng konti dito as they want to make the most out of this chance. And you can see the patience here for Cebu as they try to get into their spots, as you mentioned.
Well, they don't have to rush out here, Cebu. They just need to make sure that they pass the ball around, make Maharlika Manila FC work. So whether natin na to, it's gonna take a toll on the players as the game progresses, and hopefully they will use that to their advantage.
That's the kind of luxury you have as you go 1-0 up in just 10 minutes into this match. Glad to have you join us once again. This is your Philippines Football League brought to you by Qatar Airways. Maharlika FC hosting Cebu FC, and Maharlika, they have fallen behind 1 goal. No thanks to Rintaro Hama, the header on an assist by JB Borlongan. Here is Hama once again. And a good way to bother the path of that ball. Maharlika will retrieve it. Galasa ahead to Zachary Ford, who sends it back to Galaza. But Cebu very spot on as well with their defending, able to get possession back just like that.
This is the difference between the two sides. Nakita nyo kanina si Zachary Ford looking for his teammates na lumapit sa kanya. That has been a different part of the game so far for them. Walang lumalapit in terms of support, Whereas with Cebu, whenever they have the ball, they have two or three options whenever they have possession.
Gadya again to Burlongan, who tries to go one against Ziggy E. Look at the display of skill, but Bendiara using his head to clear that one away. It will stay with Cebu for now. A dozen minutes have gone by. And again, it's just a 5-point differential. Kaya FC Iloilo, 42 points. Dynamic Herb Cebu FC, 37 points. Number 1 and number 2, we are in the fourth round of our league. We still have the Copa this summer. And speaking of which, again, ideal weather conditions dito sa Carmona. It's a bit windy, but again, the kind of field that you have, it's very comfortable to play with for either team. And now, Cebu advances a little bit further sa kanilang attacking third. Tassi sends one in to Leaf, who tries to turn. And what will the call be here? Looks like corner for Cebu. They take it short, delivery. Ziggy E present during that situation. And if you're Maharlika, you just want to build front back once you complete the stop. And right on cue, they lose control. Hama, a wild one, trying to catch Valdez flat-footed. Will not happen. Goal kick for Maharlika.
We're going to count that as a shot, but not on target for Hama. Trying to surprise Valdez on that situation or on that play. Meanwhile, Maharlika trying to send the ball forward, rushing it a bit. Like what you've said, you put it right earlier. Kailangan kalmado lang sila dito and just start the play from the back.
Of course, if you're Maharlika, you have Rigoberto Joseph and also Zachary Ford, part of yung dalawa, and Spence Galaza as well. Doon sa kanilang unahan. You can count on those names to create something, but that's when they get possession. As on the connection, the cross inside the box. David Basa just there to bother ever so slightly.
Burlongan again using that left side of the field, making it a dangerous spot for them as of the moment, but medyo kinulang lang yung effort dun ni Allen.
The continuous pressure paying off here for Cebu as they get possession. Right back, this is Tassi. And now Burlongan retrieves it against Biaton and Ziggy E, who come forward. Deep inside the box, it is Allen. Will he be able to turn? David Basa just giving him fits. And finally, the supporting cast is there for Maharlika.
Ageless Basa covering Allen out there on that play, using his experience and his size against Allen, who was on the attacking end for Cebu.
15 minutes into this contest as we take a look at Florencio Jun Badalik Jr. once again to kickstart the possession here for Cebu. Thank you very much for joining us for our live and exclusive broadcast presentation. Live po tayo sa ating Facebook and YouTube platforms. Maharlika hosting Cebu dito po sa bayan ng Carmona sa lalawigan ng Cavite. Summer season na talaga, Jamer. And it's a 1-0 advantage for Cebu so far. They are in control possession-wise. Lots of space for Hama to operate with. Let's see if he takes advantage. Tries to switch direction against Basa, and the whistle is blown. An imminent penalty for Cebu.
Hama using his body out there, pero merong foul na itinawag ang ating referee for a penalty. He had plenty of space in that sequence as we take a look on the replay. Second guessing himself, looking for that opening, and the tackle from player number 12, Uy of Maharlika Manila FC, just gave them that foul and a penalty.
And a golden chance, an opening here for Cebu to double their lead early on in the first half. Timothy Uy napag-iwanan just on that switch of direction. Fantastic skill by Hama to earn himself a penalty for Cebu. And I believe it's going to be Altinos taking this one. Whistle has been given. Will it be two? Oh! Incredible save by Valdez! As the status quo remains, yes!
What a lovely save from Valdez, keeping it at 1-0 after that penalty from Altinos. But if you see on the replay, if we're going to have a replay later, Altinos, his body language out there wasn't seem to be on the right way wherein he's going to be scoring a goal. He showed where he's going to kick it in, and Valdez just gets it right.
Oh, he definitely did. Great timing by Vinci Valdez, and that's why he was the player focus ahead of this broadcast. As David Basa makes a slide. It's going to be a corner once again for Cebu, only the second. It's taken quickly. They're trying to take advantage of yung pwesto ng Maharlika. Of course, they are playing with the sun facing them. Sinusubukang makabulag dito quite literally because the rays of the sun blinding if you're facing yung kanan ng inyong screens.
Yes, and nakita natin doon Valdez forced to commit on that corner. Although alam natin na it was an outswinger, but still it was a shot on target for Cebu, having to force Valdez on a save.
So Cebu nakakarami na ng shot attempts here as they have again the control mostly of the volume of possession, and Maharlika advance it to their midfield. That is the captain Schaffner in an obvious foul, and Christian Schaffner of course did not appreciate that as nadaganan siya.
Yeah, I didn't like that play. As you can see here, Levi, Schaffner had the ball, Rintaro Hama just using the arms, and he's really not going to like that foul.
And Hama very fortunate not to be handed a yellow card. We resume the action here. Basa back to the captain Schaffner. Basa's come forward, but a wild one. Lots of aerial, it just goes out. So again, Maharlika, they just need to be more patient whenever they have that ball, especially considering it was in their attacking half that particular instance.
Medyo nagmamadali yung Maharlika dito, and that's one of their, should we say, weaknesses in whenever they concede a goal against any opponents that they have here in the Philippines Football League. They tend to rush things out, but you know they still have plenty of time to work out with in terms of the game. So hopefully they can calm things down. As you can see, Cebu right now on the counter.
Charles Dabao, he has come forward here. Good way to switch direction once again, but he will wait on for his teammates for sure. Altino sends one again, and now Valtos more active defending from Maharlika. Well, we spoke with one of the assistants of Coach Roxy Dorlas as a foul is whistled, I believe, on Biaton.
Taking a look here. Covered by two players, sandwiched by two players. Itong si Corey on that play, hence the foul.
Looks like that was Rigoberto Joseph. And Hama again, look at that, and then he sends across. Will the connection be made? It just goes wide for JB Borlongan. But the perfect execution on that one. Everything but the finish.
Look at that again, Levi. Hama with a great cross, finding Borlongan, just hits the side netting on that sequence, and lumalapit na at nararamdaman na ng Cebu. Nakakaamoy na sila ng dugo rito.
Using the left foot, of course, was Borlongan. A bit of a difficult angle, perhaps, to try and make the ideal cut, but nevertheless, a quality attempt. They just continue to apply pressure for Maharlika. And speaking of Maharlika, of course, changing from the McKinley Hill Stadium to the PFF National Training Center. They were able to readjust from a back three. They went to the 4-4-2, and they want to equalize in this match, that's for sure, after that 2-1 loss. People might think kanila na yun, but just that effort by Uwano, as this for Borlongan will not be of a challenge for Valdez. But let's go back to that match just 10 days ago. Maharlika ang nakauna doon. It was a header by David Basa. What a sequence that was. Nakabulag sila doon in the 20th minute, and then they had the lead for almost the first half, and then came Daniel Gadia, and then in the second half, that was the really unfortunate instance for them because naka-goal si Ivan Uwano on an errant back pass by Ben Diarra.
Well, those are the things that you would like to avoid against a team like Cebu. Those mistakes that will be costly down the game, and napatunayan nga ng Cebu na they made them pay on that sequence that they were able to win despite going down 1-0 in the first half.
Weaving past the defenders was JB Borlong as he sends one in. That will merit a corner for Cebu.
As we can see, Borlongan in the turn, taking a shot, and Valdez outstretched arms, making sure to save that ball once again for Maharlika.
He had no choice, as this is going to be another corner for Cebu. Just the quality that Borlongan is showing. Well, whenever he is part of the starting lineup, you can expect him to just do the damage, make the opposing team work. Sesenya si Altinos. Here is the delivery, but the whistle is blown prematurely. There is a foul. It will go back to Maharlika.
You mentioned earlier, Levi, with Borlongan back in the mix in the starting lineup. Even as a substitute, is an impacting player with the Dynamic Herb Cebu, just always being there, pressurizing the defense, and just opening up the options for Cebu. And in this game alone, nakita na natin yung presence doon.
Already past the halfway mark of the first half, as the whistle will have to be blown here by Meliton Palayo. On the sequence before, looks like someone has been hit on the face. That is Mert Altinos. No malicious intent, but of course his teammate Cordova. Ayun, that was William Valtos. Hindi naman sinasadya, but of course wrong timing. He caught Altinos nung nasa harapan niya.
It was a 50-50 ball out there, Levi. Up for debate, but the foul has been called, and I believe we're going to be having a cooling break out here.
Well, like we mentioned moments earlier, yung temperature dito, yung weather, it's really summer season na. And to those of you watching back at home or from wherever you are, thank you so much for tuning in. Samahan nyo na ng halo-halo itong ating match that is continuing to unfold at the PFF National Training Center here in Carmona.
And dahil nga dyan sa sinabi mo, Levi, I want to take the opportunity to welcome as well all the viewers that we have as we take a look on the replay of the goal again by Hama out there. For all the viewers that we have, banggitan tayo ng ilan, sila Resty Nebreo, Lawrence Colina, si KL Tamia, David Adraneda, and we also have Carlo Padrinao and Dan Lawrence Yabore, who's actually watching the game as well from the comforts of their home. Chima Modu also watching the game, and Jewel, thank you so much for tuning in.
As you can see on your screens right now, players really making the most out of this hydration break, and of course also trying to keep their body temperatures steady. And we saw from that replay just the motion, the downward header by Hama to evade the defense or the shot stopping of Vinci Valdez. That's the only difference so far sa ating laban. Again, it's 1-0 for Cebu. 5 minutes into the contest, Hama with the score. He has scored in their last 2 matches. I believe the last 3 out of 4.
Tama ka dyan, Levi, scoring 3 out of 4 games for Cebu. Right now, Hama is one of the target man for the Gentle Giants as we have resumption of action out here.
And no one else but Hama trying to do the damage here. Did that take a deflection? I guess not. It's going to be goal kick for Maharlika as we go the other way. Again, Maharlika playing from right to left. But that is a good look at player number 21, Rintaro Hama.
Here's the shot again from Hama using his left foot, but the curve was not there for him, so it's not going to challenge Valdez.
And I believe the weather condition had something to do with that. Medyo hinangin na rin towards the left. And as it sailed out, but Kore recovers. Borlongan, look at the touch passing for Cebu, but Valdez will get out of the goal area to collect for safety.
Great sequence for Dynamic Herb Cebu. This has been a difference so far from their last game against Mendiola. Now they're racking up the shots, they're racking up the passing as well, making sure that the ball is working for them. But I think there's going to be a foul called against Cebu on that play.
Player down on the field for the white shirts. It's going to be a foul for Cebu. Beaton back up on his feet. Well, interestingly, Charlie Beaton before the transfer window was also with practicing with Cebu. Now with Maharlika. Leaf Allen. Cebu again. Someone again down. That is Valtos this time. And the fouls just piling up for Cebu. They have to be a bit more lax when it comes to their challenges. But if you're Maharlika, paunti-unti, you're trying to build from the possessions you're getting. They're not a lot, but you have to be careful with them.
Ito na yung aggressiveness na sinasabi natin with regard to Cebu. They're gonna show their physicality against you. They're gonna challenge you all the entire game, and Maharlika just needs to match that.
It's been whistle after whistle. This is going to be the first booking for this afternoon. And Daniel Gadia, a bit apologetic as well. Although he will be merited a yellow that time around. Ayun, yung kapit kay William Valtos with the left arm.
Yeah, he apologized real quick. He knows that there's going to be a card coming up for that high boot. Luckily, it's just a yellow. We know Daniel Gadia has been a customer of cards in the PFL, earning as well, I think, two red cards in his season here in the PFL.
Valdez chooses to control with the first touch and will send it out. And speaking of Daniel Gadia, if you happen to be watching live, makikita nyo just the kind of body build that he has. Eh, napakalapad na tao talaga nito. He can just really impact whatever position he's playing. Well, right now, of course, with Cebu, the role that he has is more of from the back, although he can also rush those midfield when needed. And there he is, right on cue. We'll send one to Dabao first. Oh, good pressure there from the captain, Schaffner. Try and wrestle control of possession.
Talking about Gadia out there, the size of this man is built brusko talaga, but he's playing more of a holding midfield right now for Cebu. But like what you mentioned as well, Levi, he's one of the players that you have to look out for in terms of attack. Mabilis din tong mga legs ni Daniel Gadia.
Jacob Liao getting a touch earlier. We haven't mentioned his name for quite some time, but that's credit to Cebu just keeping the ball doon sa kanilang unahan. And there he is. One of the two center backs here for the Gentle Giants. Gadia once again to Jason Cordova. Threads the needle to Hamal. Oh, look at that 1-2. Well, oh, he does not get there in time. Talking about Charles Dabao. Good intention on the part of Hama to involve his teammate.
Dabao didn't have enough nitro in his legs out there. But we've seen the effort coming from the back. Great 1-2 from Hama. They will definitely try that again as they're exploiting all the holes in defense of Maharlika.
Throw in for Maharlika from the back, and narinig natin yon from where we are. Medyo malutong, and Kore the recipient of that foul, as it is going to be a yellow for Spence Galasa this time.
See this again for the foul. Ooh,
From behind.
Galasa from behind. He was actually going for the ball out there. He needed to use plenty of his body against the size of Kore.
Spence Galasa, one of the more undersized players here, as a cross from Cebu on the rebound. Still Cebu. Kore flicks one to Hamos on the other side this time. Here's the lob. Not the finest of touches there for Davao, as Maharlika will just escape trouble past the half-hour mark na tayo dito. 32 minutes and change. A baker's dozen left, plus whatever added time before the conclusion of the first half. Schaffner retrieves this one for Maharlika. And again, trouble building from the back, as this is now Allen against the odds. Will he be able to put up a shot? It's Borlongan this time. Oh, it just goes above the crossbar.
Let's see this again, Levi. Allen with the pass to Borlongan. Borlongan sees the opportunity, pero medyo nanggigil si Borlongan doon, hitting the crossbar on that play. That he will be begging for that chance to come back his way. You're not gonna get plenty of chances like that in this game against Maharlika. So it's really a painful way to miss a goal.
Yeah, all sorts of space in that one. We saw on the replay just how nag-recover sina David Basa at the last minute. Well, Valdez was there to try and save it. But yeah, on that volley, lots of elevation. Sayang na sayang yun. Could have doubled the lead easily. Perfect setup by Leaf as well. Galasa this time threads the needle. They will remain onside. Rare opportunity for Maharlika. Rigo, but he just sends one straight to Badelik.
Not plenty of options for Maharlika on that play. Now a counter-attack for Cebu.
Oh, it just ricochets off Peliton Pelayo on the intended pass for Kore, and he will blow the whistle. It will remain with Cebu. That is one way to delay the counter-attack.
Mukhang magpapasalamat pa ang Maharlika kay referee doon.
And again, in the previous sequence, one of the rare chances for Maharlika, but on the cross, diretso sa kamay ni Badelik. Oh, they will need more of those. Just try to level the playing field here. 35th minute. Kore operates, sends it to the right flank. Lots of space once again for Hama. As this one will go straight into the gloves of Valdez.
Not much of curl out there for Dabao's cross, finding the gloves of Valdez. But they're still going to be pressured out here by Cebu.
And also Schaffner, we can see from his body language, just egging on his teammates to come closer. All they need really are just a string of short passes to advance from the back to the middle and see where things go from there. That's one thing they have not executed yet throughout the course of our match.
Credit to the defense out here, Levi. Cebu being held to just one goal with 10 minutes remaining in this game. They've already had plenty of shots on target, already having 6 of them on target in this game. So far, Valdez and the defense of Maharlika just making sure to keep the damage lower for them.
Hama, meanwhile, on the cutback, but not on target for Davao. Nevertheless, Gadya comes forward, and now Kore once again. You love the activity from player number 80. Has been playing for the Leylam club, and now finally, officially in the PFL, itong si Marius Kore. Still Cebu, as they send the long one. Bendiara rises to the occasion, and it's picked by Baltos. To the other way we go. Rigo to Galaza, who is just close. Zachary Ford for a moment had lots of room from the opposite side. And you like this from Maharlika. They're taking their time, surveying the field. Basa threads the needle. Zachary Ford. But better defending from Cebu was Davao takes it away. Tuloy-tuloy tayo dito. It is a counter with lots of room. This is Mert Altinos. Oh, someone has to pick him up. On the lob, yun nga lang, there is no connection. It still is in play. Borlongan sends it back. But Tim Uy will finally concede a corner for Cebu.
Another quick counter-attack for Dynamic Herb Cebu out here. Borlongan just couldn't capitalize on the cross from Mert Altinos, pero nakikita na natin dito yung pagpapalit-palit ng players ng Dynamic Herb Cebu. Mert Altinos was positioned as a center forward for them earlier, now playing in the right wing. Hama now being in the center forward, if I'm not mistaken.
Masyadong mababa on that delivery for Altinos. But a great point, Jamer. They're really mixing it up. It's trying to confuse the defense. As that ball taken out. Throughout the last 15 minutes or so, Maharlika, at the very least, getting their fair share of possession here. They just, again, have to continue building from these bright spots. Diarra threads one to Galaza, but unable to control. It just goes back to Cordova and back to Cebu. It is one back. Now Valtos and Schaffner, yung dalawang bumubuo doon sa central midfield. Uy has come forward. Spence. So now they're trying to operate from the midfield. Maharlika. Uy once again. And possession. Running out of real estate was Team Uy. And look at the response by Cebu. Just from the moment they won, it will be called for Maharlika. As we see on the replay, Jacob Liao had the better position in that foot race. And Rigo Joseph had nothing much he could do that time around. "40 minutes into this contest." If you were just joining us again, Rintaro Hama the difference in this contest for this 1-0 lead for Cebu. A downward header in the 5th, which surprised us all. But if you're Maharlika, you're pretty much in this match. If you want to draw level and split the points, it's really up to you to execute. Oh, too much mustard on that leaf ball to Borlongan. Good thing he was able to recover. Lots of elevation into that cross. And Hama will send it away.
Hama thought he could get another header on that play for Cebu, but too much dun sa header na yun. But again, as you take a look on JB Borlongan earlier on that sequence, crossing it with his weak foot, and it doesn't look like his weak foot because nakross niya yung bola even with such power to reach Hama.
Well, Borlongan, as we know, just sharp feet, very, para halos ambidextrous na rin if you want to consider it that way. Just the skill from the, of course, former UP standout. Another rare occurrence here for Maharlika as Zachary Ford weaving past 3, although on that touch, too much power, unable to retrieve.
Ford tried to dance past 2 players of Cebu on that sequence, pero sumobra lang yung touch niya. Had he seen 1 or 2 of his teammates right away, there could have been an option for him.
Maharlika has to continue just being hungry and driven here kahit papano. We've seen some good moments for them. Not that plenty, but of course, it's a matter of really just making the most of what's presented in front of you. 42 minutes have gone by. Cebu still managing this 1-goal advantage. And of course, Cebu, they can take their time. owing to the fact that they have the lead. But if you're Maharlika, you want to press right here as they have stayed in the back. And now easily they have advanced it. Basa does his best to delay, and it benefits here for Maharlika as Spence has it. Ford. Good short passing for Maharlika, but Spence not in his position. Muntik nang out of balance doon. Encouraging last minute or so for Maharlika. Uy. To Galaza once again. Schaffner. The switch in direction. Nasa kanila pa rin. It's becoming more compact from the left side. Good decision to send it out. Valtos will involve Ziggy E. More pressure from Cebu. They had no other recourse but to send it back to Valdez. Basa sends a long one. And we are seeing, Jamer, from Maharlika, more of the offense that you want.
Now they are passing the ball around to the left side of the field, but one more thing is lacking for them. No one's cutting back in for Maharlika Manila FC out here. Kung merong player, for example, Spence Galasa gets the ball, he should cut back in onto the right side into the middle of the field for them, allowing an option over the left wing to open things up. Pero so far, nakita natin is they're just making use of possession.
It's one thing to really move that ball around, but also the off the ball movement for you, yun nga, yung mga 1-2, as simple as those plays can really make a difference. Diarra wrestles possession back. Good effort from him against the much smaller Borlong, and you can see on the screens, gifted back to Cebu. They have the numbers here. Loses possession, and now Biaton could be a potential counter for Maharlika. Galaza from the opposite side, the Arellano standout to Rigo Joseph. Still Joseph here for Maharlika. Will this be the equalizer? Lots of space now. Schaffner, that will be deflected. And finally, one back by Cebu. Testy moments there for the Gentle Giants.
Finally, a shot on target for Maharlika, closing in on the final minute of the first half.
Winding down in the first half here. Dabao. Hama with some room. Tries to lob it back to. And that is going to be a sorry miss for Cebu, just in terms of how much red shirts were already part of that picture as we see it here. Lots of space. Lobs it to Gadia. Perhaps taking too much time that time around, Jamer.
Yep, Gadia called for foul there, but he knew he's not going to get that ball. Stopped his momentum, unfortunately hits Valdez. As we see, I think we'll have 3 minutes of additional time out here for the first half.
Yes, indeed, 3 minutes as confirmed by our fourth official, Michael Barajas. 3 more minutes for Maharlika to at least just gather more momentum entering the halftime interval and then the second half later on. They've played much better in the last 7 or 8 minutes. It's going to be a positive talking point for the club of Coach Roxy Dorlas, as it is still a 1-0 cushion for Cebu. They want to be more comfortable with a larger advantage, of course. They want to separate from that 1-0 margin and add on to their lead. Cordova, a bit of pressure here for Maharlika. You see on your screens Galaza and Zachary Ford. Oh, that's the right thing to do. To Jacob Liao.
Right now, Cebu can afford to run down the clock, pero it will be a confidence booster for Maharlika Manila FC heading into the halftime, with them being able to maximize the possession over the last 7 or 8 minutes in this game.
Good execution on the 1-2, and then Gadia just threads the needle for Dabao. Here is the cutback, and they will win a corner for that effort. In just a matter of 5 seconds, Jamer, that ball advanced from the back to the attacking third.
And credit to the pace as well of Dabao coming from the back. He's playing like a wing back right now for Cebu, giving the opportunities from the wing if Rintaro Hama is embedded deep inside the striker zone for Cebu, and they win another corner out here.
He's all over the place talking about player number 30. It's going to be Burlongan to deliver this. Sumenyas na si Burlongan. Let's see. Perfect delivery. Pero two red shirts just unable to sort things out. And bola babalik sa Maharlika could be the final possession sequence of this first half.
Yep, another missed opportunity out here for Cebu, hoping to close out the first half with a 2-goal advantage, but it seems like this is going to be the last sequence of play after Valdez kicks this one in.
Valdez the long one. Perhaps looking for Biaton. It's a foot race. Galaza and Liao. Galaza had a touch. And that is the halftime whistle. It is Cebu striking the 5th minute and holding on to that 1-0 cushion so far. As Rintaro Hama, player number 21, on your screens, once again finding the back of the net on a header in the 5th minute. And that is the difference so far. Cebu FC 1 and Maharlika FC 0 as we enter the break. Your thoughts on the first half, Jamer, before we proceed with our break?
Well, Rintaro Hama, just like in their game against Mendiola, being the first blood out here in this game against Maharlika Manila FC, they will go into the halftime break with a 1-0 lead, but they're not going to be happy. They had plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances in that first half, hoping for a better shooting accuracy for Cebu on the second half. Meanwhile, for Maharlika Manila FC, pulling off at least a shot on target and getting plenty of possession in the final 10 minutes of the game. Let's see how they're going to do it in the second half.
First half highlights and the second half when we return. This is Maharlika and Cebu in your Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. Back here inside the PFF National Training Center in Carmona, Cavite, as at the break it is Cebu FC holding a 1-0 advantage against the home team Maharlika FC, and it's Levi Verona on the call alongside Jamer De La Cruz. And Jamer, ito nga yung ating opening goal 5 minutes into this contest. The assist on a cross by Borlongan, Hama does the rest.
Well, Borlongan just needed that bounce on that assist, and Rentaro Hama scoring the goal, almost tripping on himself in the celebrations. Meanwhile, with Mert Altinos on the free kick out there, almost another goal for Cebu. They've had plenty of chances in the first half, and ito yung penalty na itinawag for Cebu, but Mert Altinos just giving it away and allowing Valdez to save that.
If you're Cebu, obviously just dominating control of possession perhaps in the first 30 minutes or so, and it's just Borlongan all over the place, as we see that shot also forcing Valdez to make the challenge, and then Hama on that cross. Well, those two players, Hama and Borlongan, just really and close to, of course, making it 2-0. Cebu, it goes without saying, they've had multiple chances to really go up by more than the current scoreline that we have, and it's if you're Coach Mehmet Kakil, perhaps there's a bit of disappointment from your side, knowing that it could have been easily 2-0 or 3-0 even. And of course Maharlika getting just a few opportunities there. A shot by Schaffner, it just deflects. What do you think about the first half, Jamer, for Cebu? Like what we mentioned, could have easily been a more lopsided scoreline.
That is correct, Levi. They should have been up by at least 3 or 4 goals by now against Maharlika Manila FC. But just as we take a look on the stats, looking into the possession, talagang dominated ng Cebu ngayon ng possession. 10 shots as well on goal for Cebu, 7 of them being on target. A 70% shooting accuracy, but the conversion nila dito medyo mababa pa. Hoping for more for them in the second half as the game progresses. Meanwhile, for Maharlika Manila FC, whenever they have possession, they make use and make the most out of it. They were able to get a shot on target earlier with Schaffner, pero they still have plenty of more options into this game. Hoping that they get more possession and use it wisely. They have to focus more on their off-ball movements compared to whatever they're doing in terms of formation so far.
We have a couple of substitutions who will now be part of the second half when we resume shortly. Player number 17, you see it in the middle of your screens. Ivan Uano scored against Maharlika, trying to provide that spark off the bench. And also Endure for Maharlika has entered the match. So a couple of fresh legs for either side. Moments away from the start of the second half. Again, beautiful weather conditions here as the sun starts to set from the PFF National Training Center in Carmona, Cavite. Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. And here we go, start of the second half. Maharlika in their familiar white with the neon blue and pink trim will now play from from left to right rather. Schaffner gets the first touch. Gadya immediately asserts his presence. And play goes on, says the referee. Altinos. Lots of room from the left flank once again. Borlongan doesn't even take time there as he flicks one in. But no connection on the intended header. And again, a rousing start for Cebu. They just look more driven right now.
Just like how they started the second half against Mendiola, they're going to go full on attack against Maharlika Manila FC here. They know they have the lead, but they are chasing for more goals in this game. And hopefully, through the sequence of attacks, they will be able to get another goal.
Endo Endure, part of the 11 for Maharlika. Player down for Cebu. And ball goes out for now. It will be fair played back in just a short while, but this is look like Kore. At ininda niya yun, but apology immediately from Endo Endure. as he's having a word with, I'm not sure who. Is it Zachary Ford or Christian? Looks like Christian Scheffner, who wears the captain's armband for Maharlika. And so Basa, the customary fair play for June Badelik. A clean sheet so far for the goalkeeper, formerly of United City Football Club. But before that break, of course, Jamer, we saw how encouraging the last few minutes of the first half was for Maharlika. And you get that feeling that they just have to build from that, and anything is possible in this match.
Yes, that is correct, Levi. Off-ball movements will be the key for Maharlika Manila FC in this game if they want to equalize or if they want to get a go-ahead goal against Cebu. They know they are using the possession well, but they have to make those off-ball movements work for them as well.
Galaza. It is collected by Schaffner and on to Basa. Look at how compact the defending is for Cebu right from the midfield, but a foul called. Believe that was Hama. Basa restarts the offensive for Maharlika. They get into their attacking third somehow. Those short passes we've talked about. Ford against 3 red shirts. Takes the matter into his own hands, but that shot is not on target. It goes out.
Great sequence out here for Maharlika Manila FC. Ford taking a shot from distance. But the problem out there, again, with the off-ball movement, walang nag-offload for them. Walang nag-overlap for them on that sequence. Could have been an overlap for them. Should have been an option for a cross. Pero Maharlika Manila FC will have another chance through this throw-in.
All those misdirections, equally important in the game of football. And now Owano. Good first touch there for Ford, but bothering was Charles Dabao. We like his activity. He's from the back, but doesn't take that long to advance forward. Counter-attack time for Cebu. Leaves it for Borlongan against Beaton, but on the cross, or could be a shot, but of course Valdez will not be one to leave that.
Almost a goal-scoring opportunity out there for Ivan Owano. Taking too much of a touch, too much of control on that play. Left it for Borlongan, but nobody up front for Cebu.
Entering the 50th minute of this match, and again, kung kakatutok nyo lang po, it has been just a 1-goal separation for these two teams, courtesy of Rintaro Hama, the of course the new Asian player for Cebu, as Cordova heads it to Badelik. Now back to Kore. And if you're Maharlika, you love the activity here. There's the pressure, almost winning the ball back. Something they have to continue. Now on to the midfield. Kore. They go to the ground first as Mert. And again, lots of space. Borlongan left unmarked. Here is the cross. But a lot of elevation. It just goes out.
Whenever Borlongan has the ball, you don't know if it's going to be a cross or if it's going to be a shot on target because the type of player that he is, kayang-kaya niyang gawin yun. He can try to shoot from distance, he can cross the ball, but nobody out there again for Cebu. Promising start for the second half for the Gentle Giants, and at the same time, good pressure being put on here by Maharlika.
It's going to be a goal kick for Cebu once again. So if you're Maharlika, medyo 50-50 at the start of this half. And that's something positive if you're Coach Roxy Dorlas. And they're operating with a larger field, of course. Rather than doon sa McKinley, they can easily mix it up as well. And they have the tested combination doon sa ating pitch right now. Kore goes to his left. There is Baris. Borlongan. Now he is being marked by at least 2 white shirts. A good decision until that foul on Valtos.
As we could see here, Borlongan puts the play back to Bares, and the foul behind by Valtos. Just enough for Cebu to challenge out here in this free kick.
And you get the kind of strategy Cebu was trying to execute that time around. A couple of short, quick passes. So a dangerous spot. As always, when you have Altinos and Borlongan to deliver, they will perhaps run the dummy hero. We don't know. 3 men making up that Maharlika wall. You have a lot of things to try and cover here. Just awaiting the go signal from Meliton Pelayo. There it is. It is the dummy play, Borlongan. And that one deflected into a corner for Cebu.
Borlongan kind of a bit threw off by Mert Altinos on that play. He already said, I'll take matters into my own hands, but Mert decided to go for the dummy. But nevertheless, they win another corner.
Well, whenever those two converge for the spot kick, as this is the corner, not enough elevation at all, as it is going to be. However, it's last touch. Yes, last touch on Maharlika, and so a free corner gifted to Cebu. They will have the chance to reset. And it is Altinos again. Sumisenyas right now sa kanyang mga teammates as to where to try and place this one. Whenever Altinos and Borlongan converge, you just know there's some unpredictability there. Medyo mababa pa rin on that second corner kick, and now finally Endo Endure secures one for Maharlika. Tries to win it back. He does with the help of Galaza. It is a foot race for possession. Cordova will just have to send it out.
Smart decision making out there for Cordova. He knows there are 2 or 3 white shirts already on the counter attack for them, just clearing it out for a throw in. But what effort out there from Endure winning the ball for Maharlika.
Not much Cordova can do that time around. But that gives the few seconds para makabalik itong Cebu and establish themselves defensively. Valtos. And now there is room in the midfield to operate. Basa sends a long one, but perhaps too long para doon kay Zachary Ford.
You see, the intention of Basa out there is to free up Zachary Ford on the left side. It's just that medyo late na siguro nakita ni Zachary Ford yung option na yun. So they'll ask for it again, and let's see if they can run that play again.
Badelik, and now there is more conscious effort from Maharlika to try and press. It's been quite the start for Cebu, but Maharlika, ayaw nilang magpahuli dito. Beaton against the taller Liao. Kore against yung kanyang kapwa foreigner Bendiara. Altinos. Cebu will settle. Borlongan ahead of the pack, but Ziggy E doing just enough as Maharlika once again controls this one. Nakikita na natin they have the ability to get those stops and delay whatever Cebu is doing. They have to build from those opportunities as we see a long one. Oh, surprisingly, the whistle was not blown. Well, finally, it will be as the flag was also up. Endo Endure.
See on display, Levi, a strong challenge out there from Jacob Liao. That definitely is going to be a foul. The intention wasn't actually for the ball, but rather for the man himself. Chance for Maharlika out here.
He was just taken down that time around, and now William Valtos again. Basas come forward here trying to be part of the distributors for his side. Diara with some elevation. Galaza, but that will be an obvious offside call. Way ahead of the pack, had the right thing in mind, but it's a matter also of the timing.
Kuhang-kuha yung offside doon, Levi. As we can see, Galaza, he could have delayed the run for one or two more steps. He had the pace in himself on that play, but he got too excited for the opportunity to come their way again.
Well, given the fact that Maharlika doesn't get that much, perhaps talagang na-excite si Garaza doon. But knowing the player of his quality, he could have, yes, you're right, he could have just delayed that. As the whistle is blown, bola babalik sa Maharlika on another foul by Cebu. And he could have just made a run for that. Again, he is a speedster coming out of Arellano in the NCAA. Slowly but surely, Maharlika with possession here in the second half at least. It seems that they have leveled in terms of the volume. Ford. But all sorts of tentative for Maharlika. Borlongan. Dispossessed, but recovered nicely.
If you're Maharlika Manila FC, you're gonna love this kind of play right now. Past 15 minutes of the second half, they were able to usher out the pressure coming on from Cebu, and they are turning on the pressure as well on Cebu. So let's see if they can capitalize on the unconsciousness of Cebu right now on their counter.
Gadya, however, weaving past two and then sends one to Borlongan. He has to cut this back, poked away, but on the rebound, Gadya could be a golden chance. Valdez back up on his feet, and Maharlika escaped trouble once again. Ford, a possible counter for the home side. Ford to Galaza to his left. Galaza on the header, it's Endure. It just goes wide.
With the infusion of Endure out here in the sequence, Endure just heading it away of the goal, but welcoming signs right now for Maharlika Manila FC. Close look to our, lovely photographer out there, Claire, taking some snaps of this wonderful game that we have in Carmona.
Well, if you have been following the social media accounts of Cebu FC, that Claire has been the one responsible for all those action shots. And also for the PFL, it's RM Chua. So do give us a follow. The header by Borlongan. It sails out.
End-to-end stuff right now, Levi. A chance for Cebu on the counter. Awana's first chance wasn't there, and Borlongan just headed over the bar. And plenty of chances coming their way now.
You said it as we enter the 1 hour mark of this match, 60 minutes in, end-to-end action. It has just opened for both sides. And again, a touch for Badelik. Between the two, it's Valdez who has been busier, of course. Cebu now with 12 shots by our count. But Badelik, of course, will have to be spot on as well and attentive and alert. More pressure from Maharlika. Kore. Go to his left. Liao tries to thread the needle. They go to the ground. Back to the feet of Kore. Altinoz against two. Play on, says the referee. Well, you have to play until you hear the whistle blow. Back to the midfield. Kore again. Tracks it down. Cebu, they are just lucky here to get these possessions still to their side. But if you're Maharlika, you can sense the difference right now. If you will not look at our scoreline, or you can see it on our LED screen, but it's as if they're playing to the level of Cebu.
That is right, Levi. However, smart decision out here by Cebu, just keeping the ball working for them, working the ball around, and making Maharlika chase, killing off that momentum that they had in the first 15 minutes.
They go into the box. It is Daniel Gadya. Baris against Schaffner. He evades Schaffner and goes to his right. Davao, but it is deflected, and so another corner for Cebu. They're taking their time, but not to a point where they're just wasting it. You know they have the intention to advance. And that time around, another corner earned by Cebu. It's just a matter of the finish. It's been 1-0 since the 5th minute. If you're the Gentle Giants, again, you want to add to the advantage as we have someone down sa ating doon sa gitna ng ating field. That's Jacob Liao. And being attended to by one of their medical staff. Looks like it is the right shoulder for the Cebu defender.
Jacob Liao giving the thumbs up out there. Says he's good to go back into this game. No need to take him off momentarily. But again, if you're Cebu, you would like to add more to the goals that you already have right now. Kung napansin nyo kanina, they were able to kill the momentum of Maharlika Manila FC when they played the ball around. So their intentions are good, and now they have a corner to play for, and let's see if they can get a goal out here.
Cebu will execute this play down one man. Jacob Liao will enter after this sequence, which could be risky kung magkaroon ng counter all of a sudden. So again, let's see how Cebu executes. Well, scratch that. Liao is back on the field, so 11 against 11. Whistle has been blown. Burlongan again has been assigned to deliver. Gives out the signal. Good elevation. It is poked away by Valdez. Recovered by Core. And another corner for Core as Galaza unable to deflect it the way he wanted to. We have a couple of substitutions for Cebu and one for Maharlika. Looks like Emmanuel Otoyemi is about to check in to replace Timothy Uy. And then on the part of Cebu, it's Nicolas Ferrer Jr. and Ren Saldivar. So it's going to be the afternoon for Charles Dabao as well as Charlie Beaton on your screens. More fresh legs here for Maharlika. Otoyemi Emmanuel. But also for Cebu, as we see Ren Saldivar. We resume the action here. Borlongan on the corner, and it's going to be the third consecutive corner yielded by Maharlika in this particular instance. It is JB Borlongan still, and finally captured by Valdez, who rose inside his area. Otoyemi gets his first touch. More activity in the midfield. Endo Endure. And look at how many red shirts there are. But Endure still goes and earns the foul.
Endure needed to work his way into the half of Cebu, covered by 3, 4, 5 red shirts on that sequence. And this is the kind of off-ball movement that Maharlika is looking for in their game. Endure winning the ball for them. Only Galasa was there to help out. There should have been 2 or 3.
He was there. Basa trying to thread that needle. Pero hindi sila nagkaintindihan doon ni Zachary Ford.
Again, Maharlika showing signs of attack on that play. The pass from Basa was just not clicking for Zachary Ford.
Into this one from Rintaro Hama. But gamely, of course, denying that was Vinci Valdez. It's been quite the busy afternoon for the Maharlika shot stopper. And you can just hear, Jamer, how animated Coach Mehmet Kakil is they will never be satisfied with this scoreline, considering, of course, they are the number 2 ranked squad in the league, and they have to play as if they are, at least close to challenging Kaya. Well, they have defeated Kaya in their most recent meeting, but they're playing to the level of who's in front of them. We've seen that against Stallion when they had the lead, and Stallion equalized to split the points, and then Mendiola, they settled for that 1-0 win. Something they don't want to happen against Maharlika, who will always be capable of finding the back of the net.
And nakita mo naman itong Maharlika, yung pressure na binibigay nila sa Cebu, they are really looking for that equalizer. And if they do concede that equalizer, you're not gonna like it if you're Coach Mehmet Kakil.
The ball just sails out. Possession will stay with Cebu. Couple of players down for a moment. That is Tassi looking for someone at nagpresenta doon. And now they will try to pull back out. Gadia to Saldivar. It's being checked by Tim Uy. Good presence on the part of the back four for Maharlika. Ford, the goal scorer in their win against Mendiola. I'm trying to chase that one. It's sent back to Badelik once again. Closing in to our 70th minute. So about 21 minutes more in regulation plus added time. As a whistle is blown. And a yellow for Bendiara. He immediately apologizes to Ivan Uano, who gives him the finger wag. Huwag mo nang uulitin yun, sabi ni Ivan Uano.
Yep, that was a high boot on Bendiara. Ivan Uano didn't like it at first, but after wagging his finger out there and saying no, 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 not anymore, and getting a yellow card for Diara, all is good between the two of them.
And Diara knew that it was going to be a yellow from the moment the play unfolded. Schaffner against Tassi, and lots of holding between the two. It's going to be a foul for sure. And Meliton Pelayo gives him the card. See that again. Oh, holding on yeah, to the hip.
Shirt tugging ang nangyari doon, at binigay na nga ni referee Meliton Pelayo ang foul and a yellow card for Schaffner on that play.
It's going to be another set piece in an interesting position for Cebu. But Borlongan is not part of this picture at the very least. Score set to deliver. So they're trying to switch it up. Perhaps they will make Borlongan an option after the cross. So let's see. Core plays it short. Gadia on the shot, and that one will go above the bar and out.
Too much ambition out there from Gadia, but we know he can shoot from distance. Let's see the play again. Playing it short for Gadia with the power, just too strong of a shot out there from Gadia. So it's going to go out for a goal kick. But before I bring it back to you, Levi, I just want to give a few shout-outs out here with Nano Amita, and giving a shout-out to Jovin Bedding of Kaya FC Iloilo watching the game with us, as well as Camila Mirul of the ADT, and nakita ko rin kanina Robert Lopez Mendy watching the game as well.
Endo Endure trying to weave past the defense, and he will not get the call. Well, again, thank you very much for watching us. The fellow players from the opposing squads doing their homework, doing their scouting. Of course, the league is not over yet. Some teams will be playing each other a couple more times. So the names you've mentioned, of course, all part of our league as well. Very attentive, just paying attention to the trends here. Steven Patalinhug on the bottom of your screens. About to enter when the opportunity comes. But the play on for now. Still 1-0 for Cebu. Core. Or Borlongan rather. And a touch made by Valdez. desperately saving that.
Borlongan with a powerful strike once again as we take a look on the replay. Great touch and what a save from Valdez to keep it still at 1-0. And I believe that's the day for JB Borlongan.
He had his imprints all over this match, delivering the assist to Rintaro, and of course a couple of shots that could have changed the complexion of this match. Nevertheless, a corner for Cebu after that shot, and an immediate whistle as someone falls for Maharlika. It's like that was Zachary Ford, or Tim Uy rather. Wasted opportunity for Cebu.
Dynamic Herb Cebu FC. Player number 8, Jeremiah Borlongan, is replaced by player number 33, Steven Patangan.
So 4 substitutions made by Cebu already. They have room for one more. Galaza tries to go one-on-one against Baris. Galaza, uncharacteristic of him, he's not wearing the long sleeves this time around. We've gotten so accustomed to him donning that as part of his outfit. Maharlika lose possession, threading the needle to Steven Patalinghu. It's a foot race between him and the ageless David Basa. And look at the gulang on the part of player number 18.
The golden ageless Basa out there using his body against Patalinuhog on that foot race. There's going to be a foul for Cebu. By the way, we want to give a few shout outs as well to our medic on standby as per RM San Victores. And ayaw magpahuli sa ating shout out, Levi, Claro Manzano, one of our commentators as well in the PFL.
Glad to have you join us, Claro, of course, from another perspective. But you'll be joining us from the booth, of course, very soon. This Saturday, we'll be returning here at the PFF National Training Center. As you can see, golden hour na po dito sa ating venue. The sun continues to set. 75 minutes into this match, Gadya. Galaza trying to bother. Kore to Hama, who's trying to play perhaps the entirety. The flag will go up. Sayang yun. Could have been a counter for Maharlika.
Could have been a chance for Maharlika to pull one back, but Endure knew he was offside on that play.
More compact defending from Maharlika. They immediately benefit from that. The kind of ploy that they want. You can see how they're handling those situations better than they did in the first half. And again, just have to put those passes together once they gain control of the ball. Basa. Otuyemi. Back to the veteran. They go to the ground. Galaza again recovers right in time. More pressure as well from Cebu. They're trying to counter as well. Diara directs to Endure. And Gadya just leaps, and that will be fruitful. But however, Tim Uy as Ivan Uwano. That was clear contact on the part of Uwano. So you can see
just using too much of the body out there. Sorry to interrupt, Levi, but yeah, too much of body out there from Oano. A little bit of frustration, perhaps, of having enough time out here in this game and not scoring a goal yet to add more to their tally.
well, if we are going to eliminate the first half, as that is headed, that will definitely be okay, legal to be picked up by Valdez. Again, not counting the first half, well, you can say that, okay, it's 0-0 in the second half, and Maharlika giving it to Cebu just in terms of possession. As you will not see Mehmet Kakil on your screens, but he is very disappointed. Schaffner, a good effort by Hama to get in front of him and win back possession for Cebu.
Schaffner on the counter. Hama really alert to the possibility, and Schaffner just clips him as we have a good look on Coach Mehmet Kakil, who's very animated down the touchline. At alam nating medyo frustrated na rin si Coach due to the recent results. Despite getting all maximum points for them, it doesn't feel that way for Coach Mehmet Kakil that they are winning it on merit.
Well, we have seen the Cebu of old when Arda Chinker and Chima Uzoka were still playing as a wild one from Endure. But we've mentioned Cebu. They had previous wins where they would dominate their opponent, 4-0, 4-1. It would be a goal fest. But it's very difficult in the past few matches for them. But you can also argue that tapos na ang honeymoon phase. You have to look better out there in the field for Cebu.
Yeah, maybe it's because they're missing all those players on injury for them. Of course, you miss the likes of Arda Chunker up front with the other players like Shimo Zoka for you. Yun yung mga nami-miss mo, but hopefully they could find their shooting boots out here for Cebu.
Zachary Ford wills one, however, no contact from Saldivar, so it's going to be a goal kick for Cebu. Nevertheless, great effort on that run. Yun nga lang, no more space for the cutback and no follow-up also from the white shirts. Kore tries to thread the needle. Beautifully he does. Owano! Another miss for Cebu.
Wild shot from Ivan Owano out there as we take a look on the replay corner with a lovely through pass for Owano, putting it on his weak left foot, but hitting it over the bar and not so handsome for the number 17.
Ball goes to the air. Again, incredible through ball from Kore. He just sifted that through two defenders. Just the finish here for Ivan Owano as it stays 1-0 for Cebu. Approaching the 80th minute. 10 more minutes for Maharlika to try and find the equalizer. If you're Cebu, 10 more minutes to either double the lead or just be satisfied with this 1-0 scoreline. Some curve on that. Kore targets Patalinhug. Patalinhug shoots it eventually, but it goes above the bar.
Cebu just racking up the shots right now. Corey just providing the goods for them. It's just that the forwards, the attackers for Cebu not capitalizing as we take a look on Patalinhug's strike just over the bar on that sequence. If I'm not mistaken, they're now at 18 shots on goal, but only 10 of them being on target.
And despite the numbers and the phenomenal start that they have, again, Maharlika, they're just right there with them. And as long as the final whistle has not blown yet, although there is a more concerted effort from Cebu to now try and push forward. Baris. The midfield has opened up. Gadya. Kore once again. Kore trying to target Saldivar, I believe, and recovered by Cebu. Gadya. It's still with them. Gadya takes it on his own, and that is the second goal. Daniel Gadya doubles the lead for Cebu, and that should be the insurance goal for the Gentle Giants.
What a lovely strike from Gadya out there, and you can see the emotions of player number 6, Daniel Gadya. Even himself did not believe that went in, but what a lovely strike as we take a look out here, Levi. Ferrer just keeps it in play for them. Gadya puts it on his shooting boot, gets it past Valdez for their second goal of the afternoon.
What a placement as well, top left corner. Somewhere kung saan hindi maaabot ni Valdez. And after Gadya evaded the defense of one, he was left unmarked. That was a long-range screamer from Daniel Gadya. And that could just seal the win here for Cebu.
Finally, Cebu gets their second goal, gets past that 1 goal per game average that they currently have, and at least enough breathing room for the Gentle Giants in this game.
And you're right about that. It's just a 1 goal advantage every time. 3-2 against Kaya, 2-1 against Maharlika the last meeting, and then 1-0 against Mendiola. The draw against Stallion also. So more separation here has got to be a more satisfying result for Cebu. Finally, just testing the resolve late into this match. And they get a much deserved second goal. Ferrer trying to... Oh, good cutback! Able to salvage possession. Buti na lang nandun si Valdez to gather the ball.
You could see the FEU connection there between Ferrer and Saldivar on that sequence. Or rather, that was actually Patalinhug who got the play. Great pass from Ferrer. Very alert lang itong si Valdez on that sequence to make sure that they won't capitalize on that pass.
Well, just when we thought it was bound to go out, a last minute slide, cutting it back at such a difficult angle. But no follow-up for Cebu, obviously. Liao, again to Gadia. Saldivar. Ferrer. O Patalinhug, rather. Corre, given some room to operate, goes to his right. Is able to evade the defense of two, including Otoyemi. Lots of space from the right flank. Weaving past the defense of Timothy Oy on the header, Tassi. Spence retrieves it for Maharlika as that possession ends for Cebu. Endur to the captain, Schaffner. Advantage, says the referee. If you're Maharlika, obviously you want to take one back. It's been that kind of an afternoon. They also feel that they deserve a conversion here.
And Badelik just taking some time off the clock right now. Maharlika, the wind got knocked out of them after that second goal. Will they have enough for the last 5 minutes for this game?
Well, that has got to be a deflating goal as well. Decorative goal coming from Gadia. Cebu not done here. Corre trying to direct. Egging on his teammate Patalinhug to run onto the right flank. Fortunately for them, here is a second ball. Basa will just send it out to delay. And final few substitutions here for Maharlika. Looks like Mauro Akot is about to enter, as well as Daniel Verano. So that is going to be the afternoon here for Zachary Ford, as well as William Valtos. Again, that connection in the midfield for Maharlika. But unfortunately, this afternoon, no goals, no conversion for Ford. He's had his fair share of decent runs.
Player number 20, Mauro Akot, replaces player number 19, Zachary Ford.
Still Cebu, as has been the case in the last 10 minutes or so.
Replaces player number 68, William Valdos.
They earned their 12th corner of this match. Just the disparity in numbers. We'll have a good look at the final statistics after the conclusion of this match. But it just gives you a glimpse of how Cebu has taken control of this one. Saldivar gives the signal. Good elevation in that one. Able to control Basuano for a moment, but too many white shirts patrolling the goal area. Corre. Oh, lovely back pass to Tassi, who delivers on the cross. A good thing for Maharlika. They are very alert. inside the penalty area. Spence. Could be a counter here. Endure. They have the numbers. Endo Endure threads the needle to his teammate. Verano has just tucked in the corner. Won by Maharlika. And an unfortunate sequence at the end of that also will leave Saldivar a bit limping. Could be a case of tapilok, Jamer.
But again, for Maharlika, what a great play from them, winning the corner for their side. Endure started the play for them, was asking for the cutback, but Verano wasn't alert for the possibility. Hence, they still win a corner, and I think final substitution out here for Cebu.
Evren Tassi. The corner is taken short and quick. Schaffner. Too much height on that one. As we enter perhaps the final 2 minutes of regulation, we will just get confirmation in a few moments as to how much added time will be put on. But the window, the door for Maharlika is slowly closing, and Cebu will trim that gap against Kaya to just 2 points in the league table. An interesting race to the top sa ating liga.
Heading into the next league week, and they're going to be level on the games played with 2 point deficit for Cebu. That's going to be an interesting weekend for the Gentle Giants.
And they have one more match against Kaya, but for now, Verano bothered ever so slightly by Zaldivar, making a difference. But yes, Cebu and Kaya, they'll have one more match, and it could be played in Cebu. Cebu stunned Kaya in Iloilo. That was a monumental victory for them.
That final matchup between Cebu and Kaya would truly be the title decider for the 2020 to 2023 season of the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. It didn't seem so close at first if you look into the number of matches played, but right now Cebu making it a closer fight against the league leaders.
I believe that was a handball call on Cordova, and gifting a set piece here for Maharlika in a precarious location just outside the box, and they will discuss how to execute this as the window of opportunity continues to close in on Maharlika. At least they will take something with them at the conclusion of this match. Entering injury time, as you see on the left side of your screens, ang ating napakagandang LED board here at the PFF National Training Center.
Few of the improvements na nakikita natin sa PFF National Training Center, Levi.
Which of course will also have another facility for the PFF. 4 minutes of added time. Free kick poked away by Badelic as he preserves his clean sheet for now.
Endure with a free kick, looks up, sees the gap on the wall, but Delic, the experienced goalkeeper of Cebu, just punches it out for another corner for Maharlika.
Only the third corner, interestingly, for Maharlika, the second in this half. It is a busy area. Verano unable to get his right foot on that one. Schaffner, as we are in the first minute of injury time. And Tassi, a bit of a time-wasting strategy na rin. Just sending it out. Schaffner, oh, not the finest of touches that time around for sure. And Cebu might have just opened the door for the setup, for the icing on the cake. Oh, good thing Galaza is able to go back.
Patalinhog delayed it so much. Rentaro Hamo was asking for it, but they still have a chance through a throw in.
And Galaza once again present. Endure Wins it back for Maharlika. He has Galaza to his right. But 4 red shirts immediately able to recover and endure that one. Just sails out. Not even close to the intended target. Will count as a shot. But for Maharlika, it's been that kind of an afternoon for them. Just frustration mounting on the part of the league's bottom place team.
Maharlika has been firing blanks all game against Cebu, and they're not gonna like that. They're gonna go back to the drawing board. But they just hope to preserve just a 2 goal deficit against Cebu in this final round game between the two of them.
Maharlika, after losing to Kaya, they beat Mendiola. A monumental win, 1-0 behind Zachary Ford, and then took the lead against Cebu 10 days ago. Again, that was at the McKinley Hill Stadium, the first ever match of your PFL, brought to you by Qatar Airways in that particular venue. After that, Cebu managed to fight back and steal the victory, and they will repeat over Maharlika. So just a matter of time here. It's going to be 4 for 4 for Cebu in their matches against Maharlika. A clean sweep for the Gentle Giants every time they've faced the side from the Metro Manila's heartland.
Despite being the debutants out here in the Philippines Football League, Dynamic Herb Cebu is showing that they could actually match the veterans of the league with some of the veterans of their own. You have Cordoba, Badelik, Gadia as well playing in league football for Cebu. He's been around for quite some time, so it really does show Cebu's intention of making it to the higher echelon of club football.
Well, the names that they gathered right from the previous Copa and the bubble in a semi-bubble, talagang nakita natin just how they wanted to introduce the club and the culture as well. The owners, the team management just doing a terrific job. And that is the final whistle to make things official. Dynamic Herb Cebu FC, the Dynamic Herb Cebu FC, the Gentle Giants, with a 2-0 victory against Maharlika. It is now official, Jamer. It is just a 2-point separation between number 1 and number 2. And it's all thanks to Rintaro Hama and that man on your screens, Daniel Gadia.
Fourth round of the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways, kicked off with some exciting game out here between Cebu and Maharlika FC. Now Cebu just 2 points away of the league leaders, Kaya FC, Iloilo. They're closing in on them, and it's gonna be an interesting fourth round. Rintaro Hama scoring the opening goal for them, followed by Daniel Gadia, and at least a win for them, and a win that will pretty much be into the liking of Coach Mehmet Kakil.
A 2-0 scoreline for Dynamic Herb Cebu FC. And if you're Maharlika, again, you played to the level of your opponent. However, it would not result into the victory that they wanted. So let's take a look at the highlights of this match. And what better way to start this match than Borlongan delivering this glorious ball, 2 bounces, and Hama does the rest, a downward header to get us going.
Berlongan just finding Hama on that play. Hama really alert for that chance, heading it down past Valdez, opening the scoreline for Cebu, and that was the start of a few amazing runs for the Gentle Giants.
A save there for Valdez. It was a busy afternoon for the shot stopper, playing the entire way. And then a penalty, the golden chance to go up 2-0, but Valdez had other